After the age of 60, taking medication is no longer as simple as before. Many elderly people have to take 3 to 7 types of medication at the same time every day to treat blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, joint pain. But did you know that the wrong way of taking medication, such as taking it at the wrong time, taking it on an empty stomach, stopping the medication on your own, is causing thousands of elderly people to be hospitalized every year? In today's video, we will share 6 important notes when taking medication that anyone over 60 years old needs to know to avoid dangerous complications from sudden hypoglycemia, hypotension, to liver failure, kidney failure. This is knowledge compiled from pharmaceutical experts, elderly doctors, along with experience in caring for thousands of patients at home. Each note is a shield to protect the heart, brain, and overall health of the elderly from the silent risks of taking medication incorrectly. 1. Taking medication without consulting a doctor, a double-edged sword for the elderly. Taking medication without consulting a doctor is one of the leading causes of dangerous complications and hospitalization in the elderly. After the age of 60, the body undergoes many changes related to drug metabolism, absorption, and excretion. If the elderly still maintain the habit of buying medication themselves like when they were young, or worse, taking it on the advice of acquaintances, the risk of side effects, drug interactions, or incorrect dosage is very high. In reality, many elderly men and women with high blood pressure, diabetes, joint pain, etc. often go to the pharmacy to buy the medications they used before without knowing that their health condition has changed. There are even cases where they reuse old prescriptions from a few years ago, not realizing that they now have a new disease or are taking other medications. Such small changes can create a serious domino reaction, causing electrolyte disturbances, hypoglycemia, acute kidney failure, or gastrointestinal bleeding. A typical example is the case of Mr. T, 68 years old in Hanoi. He had a history of stomach pain and high blood pressure, and was prescribed medication by his doctor to stabilize it. However, because he felt better, he stopped going for follow-up visits and went to the pharmacy to buy medicine on his own when the pain returned. Unfortunately, the pain reliever he used, NSAIDs, can make stomach ulcers worse, especially when used for a long time and without stomach-protecting medication. After a few months of self-medication, Mr. T suffered from gastrointestinal bleeding and had to be hospitalized with severe blood loss. Even more dangerous is when the elderly take many medications at the same time, both prescription and non-prescription, without a doctor's supervision. In medicine, this is called polypharmacy, and is one of the main risk factors for adverse drug interactions. One drug can increase or decrease the effectiveness of another. Some drugs, when combined, can even harm the liver, kidneys, cardiovascular system, or nervous system. Many elderly people also tend to believe in traditional medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, or functional foods that are passed around online. These products, if of unknown origin, untested, or if you don't know how to use them in the right dosage, can cause serious consequences. Some traditional Chinese or herbal medicines may contain corticosteroids, heavy metals, or ingredients that interact with Western medications. This is especially dangerous if the elderly are being treated for chronic diseases such as kidney failure, cardiovascular disease, or are taking anticoagulants. Not to mention the dosage issue. Elderly people often have reduced liver and kidney function with age, causing the elimination of drugs to slow down. Therefore, a safe dose in young people can become a dangerous dose in the elderly if the dose is not adjusted properly. Even commonly used drugs such as sleeping pills, blood pressure-lowering drugs, or diabetes drugs can cause accidents, fainting, or sudden hypoglycemia. Therefore, the first and most important advice for people over 60 is, do not arbitrarily use any medicine, including old or familiar drugs, without consulting a doctor or pharmacist. In addition, regular checkups are recommended to reevaluate the effectiveness of the drugs being used, check liver and kidney function, and adjust the dose accordingly. Having a list of medications currently being used, clearly stating the dosage and time of use, is also necessary. If there are many different doctors treating you, for example, endocrinologists, cardiologists, musculoskeletal doctors, etc., The patient or family members should proactively inform the current list of medications to avoid duplication or drug interactions. In short, self-medication, whether it comes from habit or subjectivity, is a major threat to the health of the elderly. We need to change our mindset. Do not consider medication as a quick solution to all symptoms, but consider medication as part of an overall treatment plan that needs to be monitored and adjusted regularly to suit the changing physical condition of the elderly. 2. Taking multiple medications at the same time without control. The risk of silently sending the elderly to the hospital. After the age of 60, most elderly people have to live with many chronic diseases, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, bone and joint diseases, dyslipidemia, stomach pain, insomnia, etc. Therefore, taking multiple medications at the same time, also known as polypharmacy, is almost inevitable. However, the worrying thing is that when the elderly arbitrarily combine multiple medications without medical control, the risk of hospitalization due to drug interactions, overdose, and side effects increases dramatically. Why is taking multiple medications dangerous? When an elderly person takes 5 or more medications every day, the possibility of adverse drug interactions is very high. Each drug has a different mechanism of metabolism, absorption, and excretion, and when these mechanisms collide in the body, they can increase toxicity, reduce the effectiveness of the drug, or cause serious side effects. For example, if you take anticoagulants such as aspirin and NSAIDs such as diclofenac at the same time, the elderly are very susceptible to gastrointestinal bleeding. Or if you are treating blood pressure with diuretics and at the same time taking joint pain relievers, the risk of kidney failure will increase very quickly. In addition, liver and kidney function declines with age, causing the drug to be excreted more slowly, leading to accumulation in the body. This further increases the risk of drug poisoning even though the dose is still normal in young people. Warning symptoms, often overlooked. Older people often do not have obvious drug interactions or side effects. Instead, there are vague symptoms such as prolonged fatigue, drowsiness, headache, dizziness, easy to fall, confusion, mild confusion, personality changes, stomach pain, loss of appetite, weight loss, rapid pulse, sudden increase in blood pressure or abnormal decrease in blood pressure. Many people and even family members often think it is due to old age or relapse of old illness, without thinking about the possibility that the drug is causing harm. How to prevent? Record the entire list of medications you are taking, including functional foods, oriental medicine, massage medicine, etc. This list should be updated regularly and brought with you to every medical examination. Only take medication as prescribed by your doctor. If you want to add any type, even supplements, consult your doctor or clinical pharmacist to assess the risk of interactions. Do not stop taking the drug on your own when you feel better, or heard others say this drug is harmful. Stopping medication suddenly can cause drug shock or relapse. Divide the time to take medication reasonably. Do not take all medications at the same time, especially medications taken on an empty stomach, medications taken after meals, and medications that need to be spaced far apart. Closely monitor unusual symptoms after adding a new medication. If you feel unusual, fatigue, dizziness, nausea, confusion, etc., you need to see a doctor soon and bring all the medications you are taking for the doctor to reevaluate. Have regular checkups and check your liver and kidney function regularly, especially if you are taking medication for a long time. Advice from doctors. According to geriatric experts, the use of multiple medications in the elderly is unavoidable. However, smart medication management, including taking the right dose at the right time, understanding the uses and risks of each medication, is the best way for the elderly to reduce the risk of hospitalization due to side effects. The more medications, the more simplicity, transparency, and close medical monitoring are needed. Don't let the pills that are expected to cure silently harm your body, just because they are not used properly. 3. Not following the correct dosage and time of taking medicine, a double-edged sword for the elderly. When entering the age of 60 and above, the elderly's body becomes much more sensitive to drugs. Liver, kidney, and cardiovascular functions all decline, causing the metabolism and excretion of drugs to be slower than in younger people. Therefore, not following the correct dosage in time of taking medicine can lead to serious consequences, even emergency hospitalization. Why do the elderly often use medicine incorrectly? There are many reasons why the elderly do not use medicine as directed. Forgetting to take medicine. Age is accompanied by memory loss. Many people often forget to take doses, or take double doses, arbitrarily changing the dosage. Seeing that the disease seems to be better, they arbitrarily stop taking the medicine or reduce the dose. Conversely, when it is not effective, the dose is doubled without consulting a doctor. Not understanding the instructions. Due to not listening clearly to the instructions, not being able to read the small print on the medicine label, or not understanding complex medical terms. Fear of side effects. Some people are afraid of becoming resistant to the drug or having complications, so they deliberately reduce the dose or interrupt the treatment. 2. Unpredictable consequences if taking the wrong dose. When not following the correct dose and timing, the treatment effectiveness is significantly reduced. In many cases, the consequences are even more dangerous than the original disease. Increased risk of side effects. Overdose can easily cause liver poisoning, kidney failure, hypotension, arrhythmia, or gastrointestinal bleeding. Drug resistance, especially with antibiotics. Taking the wrong dose can easily make bacteria resistant to the drug, making it very difficult to treat later. Recurrence of the disease. Missing a dose or stopping the treatment makes the disease uncontrolled, easily recurring more severely. Costly treatment. Not being cured, having to be hospitalized, prolonging treatment and increasing costs. 3. How can the elderly take medicine properly? Some practical solutions to help the elderly comply with the correct dose and time of taking medication. Use a pill box divided by day and time to avoid confusion or forgetting. Write clear notes in large, easy-to-read letters and stick them in a visible place in the house. Set a timer on your phone to remind you to take your medication on time. Family members should remind you and check it every day, especially those with memory problems. Do not stop or change the dose on your own. Consult your doctor if you want to adjust. Not complying with the correct dose and time of taking medication is a common but dangerous mistake in the elderly. Just one pill taken at the wrong time, or an unintentional double dose, can become a threat to health. The elderly and their families should pay special attention to their daily medication habits to avoid unnecessary risks. This is not only to protect their health, but also to protect the quality of life in old age. 4. Not paying attention to the time of taking medication. A common mistake among the elderly is not paying attention to the correct time of taking medication. A seemingly small thing, but has a huge impact on the effectiveness of treatment. Many types of medication need to be taken at specific times of the day to ensure maximum absorption or avoid unwanted side effects. For example, blood pressure medications are often recommended to be taken in the morning to better control blood pressure during the day. Meanwhile, sleeping pills or sedatives should be taken in the evening to avoid causing daytime drowsiness, affecting daily activities. Some medications need to be taken after meals to avoid stomach irritation, while others need to be taken before meals to increase absorption. Failure to comply with the time of taking medication can lead to reduced treatment effectiveness, increased risk of drug-food interactions, or serious side effects. For the elderly, this is even more dangerous because their bodies have reduced ability to adapt. Therefore, the elderly should have a reminder board to take medicine, or have relatives help them control the exact time of taking medicine every day. This is a small step but contributes significantly to protecting health and avoiding hospitalization due to unnecessary medication errors. 5. Not checking liver and kidney function regularly. In the elderly, liver and kidney function, the two main organs responsible for metabolizing and eliminating drugs, often decline over time due to the natural aging process or due to chronic diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, gout, hepatitis, etc. However, many people are still subjective and do not check liver and kidney function regularly, leading to the use of drugs that are no longer suitable for their current physical condition. This is a serious mistake, but is often overlooked. When liver and kidney function is impaired, the ability to break down and remove drugs from the body is reduced. This causes the drug to stay in the blood longer, increasing the risk of accumulation, poisoning, or leading to serious side effects. For example, some pain relievers, anti-inflammatory drugs, lipid-lowering drugs, or antibiotics, if not adjusted to the appropriate dosage for liver and kidney function, can cause serious damage to these organs. In particular, in the elderly, the symptoms of drug poisoning may not be obvious, easily confused with signs of old age, such as fatigue, drowsiness, dizziness, insomnia, loss of appetite, etc. This slows down the detection and treatment process, which can lead to acute liver failure, kidney failure, and even death if not intervened promptly. Regular liver and kidney function testing not only helps assess the safety of drug use, but also helps doctors adjust the appropriate prescription for each stage of health. Basic tests such as SGOT, SGPT, creatinine, urea, eGFR, and urinalysis are necessary and should be performed at least 1 to 2 times a year, or more frequently if the patient is taking medication for a long time. Elderly people and their family members need to understand that taking medication is not simply about taking the right medication at the right time, but also taking it according to the body's condition. A weak liver or a failing kidney cannot process medication as well as when they are healthy. Only regular checkups can help see that. In short, to ensure effective treatment and avoid dangerous complications, the elderly need to proactively check their liver and kidney function periodically, especially when they are taking multiple medications at the same time or have unusual signs while taking medication. This is an important step in protecting their health and maintaining quality of life in old age. Point 6. Not paying attention to unusual signs when taking medication. For the elderly, taking medication is an almost daily occurrence to treat chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, etc. However, a very common and potentially dangerous mistake is not paying attention to unusual signs when taking medication. This is one of the main reasons why many elderly people suffer from accidents, are hospitalized, or even die in completely preventable situations. As the body ages, liver and kidney function, the organs responsible for metabolizing and eliminating drugs, decline significantly. This causes drugs to stay in the body longer, easily causing toxicity or increasing the risk of side effects. Some unusual symptoms, such as prolonged fatigue, nausea, dizziness, rash, swelling of the limbs, shortness of breath, diarrhea or constipation, etc., are often overlooked because the elderly or their families think it is due to old age or underlying diseases. More dangerously, some drugs can cause serious side effects such as stomach bleeding in people taking anti-inflammatory drugs, liver damage in people taking lipid-lowering drugs, or acute kidney failure due to diuretics, antibiotics, etc. If the signs are not recognized early and the drug is stopped promptly, the consequences can be very serious. Some elderly people also have the habit of arbitrarily increasing the dose or prolonging the duration of medication when they see that the disease has not been cured, or conversely, suddenly stopping the drug when they see that they have improved. These actions make it more difficult to monitor the effects of the drug, and at the same time obscure the... Hello everyone. Falls are one of the leading causes of serious injuries in older adults. Most hospitalizations of older adults are related to unexpected falls, which can cause serious injuries and even death. However, most of the causes of falls are preventable if we understand and take appropriate preventive measures. In today's video, I will share with you 5 reasons why older adults are prone to falls and effective ways to prevent them to protect your safety and avoid hospitalization. If you are worried about the risk of falling, don't miss this extremely important information. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any useful information for your health. 1. Decreased muscle strength and balance. As we age, our physical health will not be the same as before. One of the most obvious changes is a decrease in muscle strength and balance. This is one of the main causes of falls in older people. As muscles weaken, balance and movement become more difficult, especially when walking on uneven surfaces, or when making sudden movements, such as turning or walking quickly. Decreased muscle strength is caused by many factors, including natural aging, lack of exercise, and fatigue. When the body is not exercised regularly, muscles gradually lose tone and flexibility. Lack of exercise also reduces the ability to concentrate energy on basic movements, such as standing up from a chair or walking. In addition, a decrease in the ability to maintain balance also plays an important role. Balance is not only related to muscles, but also depends on the coordination of many factors, such as the sense of balance from the inner ear, muscles and joints, and the nervous system. As the body ages, these factors also decline, limiting the ability to maintain balance, especially when moving over obstacles. Why do people fall easily? The elderly tend to lose their quick reflexes when encountering a situation of losing balance. This can make it difficult for the elderly to adjust or react in time when falling. When moving, if a person loses balance, the body's reaction may not be fast enough to maintain stability, leading to falling or stumbling. In addition, when muscles weaken, joints, especially the knee and ankle joints, cannot ensure stability and protect the body from external impacts. Another factor is that the elderly often feel tired due to a decrease in energy, making them unable to move at high intensity or as long as before. Feeling tired easily leads to incorrect movements, increasing the risk of falling. Prevention. To reduce the risk of falls due to muscle weakness and loss of balance, older people need to maintain a regular exercise regimen. Simple exercises such as walking, yoga, Tai Chi, and balance exercises can help improve muscle strength and balance. Exercise not only strengthens muscles, but also improves flexibility and reflexes, helping older people feel more confident when moving. In addition, balance exercises are especially useful in improving the ability to maintain body stability. One of the common exercises is standing on one leg or walking slowly and patiently in a large and safe space. Balance exercises will help older people improve their reflexes and ability to control their body when encountering unexpected situations. Older people should also pay attention to nutrition to maintain muscle strength. A diet rich in protein, calcium, and vitamin D will help support the development and maintenance of healthy muscles, thereby reducing the risk of falls. In addition to exercise, regular health checkups and discussions with your doctor are also important to detect early signs of decreased muscle strength and balance. Your doctor can recommend appropriate treatments to help improve your health. Finally, safe footwear also plays an important role in reducing the risk of falls. Older adults should choose shoes with non-slip soles, a good fit, and comfort to increase stability when moving. In short, decreased muscle strength and balance are the main reasons why older adults are prone to falls. However, by staying active, doing exercises to improve balance, and taking care of your health properly, you can prevent this risk. 2. Vision and cognitive problems. Vision and cognitive abilities decline with age, especially in people over 60. As vision and cognitive abilities decline, the risk of falling increases, as older people cannot clearly recognize obstacles or hazards in their environment. Untreated eye problems, such as glaucoma, macular degeneration, or refractive errors, can lead to poor vision, making movement difficult and dangerous. One of the main factors that makes older people susceptible to falls is the inability to clearly see things around them. When their cognitive abilities are no longer sharp, they have difficulty detecting obstacles, such as electrical cords, slippery carpets, or high stairs. This makes them more likely to trip or fall, without being able to prevent it in time. In addition, the ability to distinguish the depth and distance of objects also declines with age. This can make it difficult for older adults to navigate tight spaces or to judge the distance between objects to avoid collisions. When older adults cannot accurately judge the distance or depth of space, they may easily stumble upon objects that they previously had no problem with. In addition, cognitive and information processing abilities also decrease with age. When faced with unexpected situations, older adults cannot react as quickly as when they were younger, due to the decline in neurological functions. This makes it difficult for them to maintain balance in time, especially when walking on slippery roads or when facing unexpected obstacles. Prevention. To reduce the risk of falls due to vision and cognitive problems, older adults need to have their vision checked and their eyes examined regularly. Eye diseases such as glaucoma or macular degeneration can be detected and treated promptly if they have regular eye exams. This helps the elderly maintain clear vision and avoid risks from the surrounding environment. In addition, the elderly should also pay attention to using appropriate glasses. Glasses help improve vision and protect the eyes from the effects of strong light or polluted environments. The elderly should wear glasses when necessary, especially when going out or participating in activities that require clear vision. To improve cognitive and reflex abilities, the elderly can participate in intellectual exercises such as playing chess, solving puzzles, or reading. These activities not only help improve memory, but also enhance the ability to analyze and process information, thereby improving the ability to react quickly in emergency situations. An indispensable factor is creating a safe living environment. It is necessary to ensure that the home and living space of the elderly is always kept neat, clean, free of obstacles, and well-lit. Installing lighting in necessary areas, such as hallways, stairs, and toilets, will help the elderly identify obstacles more easily, reducing the risk of falling. In addition, using assistive devices, such as canes or anti-slip mats in the home, also helps the elderly maintain better balance. These devices help the elderly walk more steadily, especially in slippery spaces or spaces with many obstacles. In short, vision and cognitive problems are among the important causes of falls in the elderly. However, with preventive measures such as regular eye exams, using appropriate glasses, creating a safe living environment, and participating in intellectual exercises, the elderly can reduce the risk of falling and maintain independence in life. 3. Muscle and joint strength problems. As we age, the natural decline of muscles and joints is one of the main reasons why older people are more likely to fall. Muscles become weaker, bones and joints gradually lose strength and flexibility, thereby reducing the ability to maintain balance and move safely. This decline not only affects mobility but also increases the risk of injury, especially when older people encounter unexpected situations such as slipping or falling. When muscles weaken, maintaining posture and balance becomes much more difficult. The leg, back, and abdominal muscles, which help the body maintain stability, will no longer be as strong as before. This increases the risk of losing balance and falling when walking or moving over uneven surfaces. Movements such as stepping over stairs or walking on slippery ground can become a big challenge for older people. In addition to muscle weakness, joint problems also greatly affect the ability to move and maintain balance. Osteoarthritis, especially of the knee and hip joints, is very common in the elderly. When these joints lose their ability to move flexibly, the elderly will feel pain and difficulty when moving. This reduces the ability to control the body when walking and makes them susceptible to falls, especially when walking on unstable surfaces. Prevention. To reduce the risk of falls due to muscle and joint problems, increasing physical activity is extremely important. Older people should participate in gentle exercises to increase muscle strength and improve body flexibility. Exercises such as walking, swimming, or yoga can help improve muscle strength, while reducing stress and pain in the joints. These exercises also help older people maintain balance and stability when moving. In addition, stretching and flexibility exercises are also important. Doing these movements helps reduce stiffness in muscles and joints, while maintaining flexibility and ease of movement when needed. Seniors can participate in fitness classes specifically for seniors, where they are instructed in exercises appropriate to their physical condition. In addition, maintaining a reasonable diet also plays an important role in protecting muscles and joints.